The 6th of February, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Get it someplace, but
Yeah, you gotta find some place where they have it. Okay. So at least you got the one for Bava Kama. That's good. Okay, so you could start, Alan, please.
okay.
More analyzes.
Amar, right. The master said, look, Chin, Mehen, Arba, Mesh, Atzon, Arba. Mesh, Gizin. One may buy from them 4 or 5 sheep at once, or 4 or 5 fleece at once. Hishtor yesh lomer arboor zavanin. Now, if it can be said that one may buy 4 goats or fleece from them, chamosh mibator, is it necessary to state that one may buy 5? The Gemora answers, Omar Rav Kesta. Rav Kesta said, Aboor Mitzalk Hamishua. The Barisa means 4 out of 5. Another version of Rav Kesta's answer, the Ibor the Omre, and there are those who report it this way. Marav Chista Abaor Me Dor Koton V'Chomesh Me Ador Godol. The Barisa means that we may buy 4 sheep from a small flock and 5 from a large flock.
Okay, so let's go over the steps over here. 3 steps over here. First step is the Gemora quotes the Brisa, the din that you could buy from this shepherd 4, and we thought it means 4 or even 5 goats or fleece. So the Gemora questions, if you told me that you could even buy 4, so obviously you could buy 5. So why would the Brisa need to tell us that you could also buy 5, by the way? It's totally unnecessary. So on that, the Gemora answers Rav Chisda. Rav Chisda says, no, it doesn't mean like you think it means. It doesn't mean, the Brisa doesn't mean to say you could buy a 4 if you see 4 there, or you could buy 5 if you see 5 there. It means Arba mitoch chamisha, 4 out of 5. Now, 4 out of 5, what does that mean? And here there's a Rashi. It's going to tell us what this means. And this Rashi can be found right in the middle of the 3rd wide line from the bottom of the Amud. Arba mitoch chamesh. 4 out of 5. 4 from the midst of 5. What does this mean? And we call upon Lou to read for us the Rashi.
Okay, Arba mitoch chamesh. Im lo haya lo be eder ella chamet
Chamesh.
Chamesh. Tzon Umochar mehen arba mutar. Lekach de kule hai lo ganav mi dever muat. So if he doesn't have what's be'eder?
The herd, the total number in the herd.
If he doesn't have the herd or except for 5, he only has 5 from the herd. Ta'ain, what's ta'ain?
Son is a word for flock.
Oh, flock. 5 of the flock, and he sells from them 4.
And yeah,
It's permissive. It's permitted.
Utur likach.
It's permitted to take. Likach is to take.
Right. Right. It's permissible to buy to take 4 out of the 5 that are there in the herd.
That all of them are not stolen. From something. What's muat?
A minimal amount.
From a minimal amount.
Yeah. So
not stolen from a minimal amount.
Kuli hai lo ganiv. So many he would not steal from such a minimal amount.
So many. I see.
So it sounds like what we're saying is that in other words, the whole herd that the Balabais gave over to this shepherd was 5.
Right.
That's what the first thing that Rashi said was. Im lo haya lo be'eder ela chamesh son. If there would only be in this entire herd 5 son means those are the individual goats.
Right.
Or the son could mean a goat, it could mean a sheep. It's animals that you shepherd in flocks. So if there would only be in the entire herd only 5 animals, umocha mehen arba, and he's going to now sell you 4 of them. So you don't have to assume that he's stealing. That he's planning on taking the profit of these 4 that he's selling for himself. Because because why? Kuli hai lo ganiv midavar mud. He's not going to steal 4 out of the 5 that the owner gave to him. The owner is going to say, "Listen, I gave you a flock of 5, and now there's only 1. What happened to it?" So that's what we mean when we say you can buy lokhin mehen arba v'chamesh. It means you can buy 4 out of an entire herd that is 5, and you don't have to be concerned that the guy that the shepherd is involved in thievery. I don't know how you would know that. Maybe I mean, yeah. Rashi's saying that the herd itself is only 5. I don't know how we know that. Maybe 5 is the amount that he stole from the total herd. Maybe there's 200 in the herd. But
I think that's just an illustration where if there was 5, if there was a herd with very few sheep in it, you'd notice very, very easily that most of the sheep have gone, and you're left with 1 or 2. And so a shepherd wouldn't be so brazen as to steal that many from a very small flock.
I'll tell you why it's a difficult explanation. I'll tell you why it's difficult. Do we need a brisa to tell us this? Isn't this pretty obvious that we could assume that he's not gonna, if the whole flock was 5, he's not gonna steal 4 of them? Need a brisa to tell us that?
Some shepherds might. I don't know.
Okay, let's see. Oh, and that's interesting point that's they raise over here in the note. Furthermore, it sounds from the brisa that that it says you're allowed to buy 4 of the 5. What about buying 3 out of the 5? What about buying 2 out of the 5?
Yeah.
That would be a bigger chiddush.
Yes.
To say that you could even buy a smaller amount.
Well, if you buy 2, I read somewhere, I don't know where it is, that if he stole only 1 or 2, he could attribute that to the fox or something like, or them getting lost.
We said that where did we say this? Right. This is right where we said it. Lokin mehen 4 v'chamesh tzon, 4 v'chamesh gizim, aval lo shtei tzon v'lo shtei gizim. So according to this, according to Rav Chisda, this is what the brisa is talking about. When it says 4 out of 5, it says 4 and 5, it means 4 out of 5. The whole A there is 5. But 2 avalo shtei tzon v'lo shtei gizim, but 2 not. And certainly not 1. Okay, according to that. Okay.
We had something about noticing and not noticing. That was what, in the Gemora or in the brisa or in the Mishnah?
The brisa said, "Klalo shel davar." The very last words of the brisa was, "This is the overriding principle over here. Kol haroa, kol sharoa mocher ubalabais margish bo, lokin mehen."
Doesn't say that.
In all cases where the roa, the shepherd, will sell, and the balabayas, the owner of the herd, is going to margish. He's going to detect and realize the deficit, the missing animals. Lokhin mehen. In that case, you'll be able to purchase that amount from him, because we're not relying on the trustworthiness of the roa, but we are relying on the fact that if the balabais is going to be able to catch him, so then the shepherd's not going to do it.
Mm.
If he's not gonna, if he's selling a in such a situation that the owner is not going to be aware of the deficit of the missing animals, so then he's not going to be confronted by the owner, and so in that case we would only be left to the relying on the trustworthiness of the shepherd himself, and that we don't do. So in that case, ein margish bo, if the balabayis is not going to realize or detect that there's something fishy going on over here, ein lokchim mehen, then you would not be able to buy that amount, or in that situation, in that scenario, from the shepherd, because we
Right.
don't trust the shepherd.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't like to be a shepherd.
The shepherds were not the yeah.
They were very essential. They were essential people doing an essential job.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be they were no less honest than the people are nowadays. But Chazal said, don't buy from them. What would Chazal say about people today? I don't know.
I mean, sometimes we have people walking up and down Stuart Levy Escol. The Paran here, the shopping centre, and they've got they're carrying toys with them, and they want you to buy the toys from them. But I don't know if people do. Haven't seen them lately. But there's a toy shop here, a couple of toy shops, and you wonder where they got the toys from.
Right.
Just as just a suspicion.
Yeah, I hear. Right. Okay, so now we have another answer over here. Ikeda Amre. We have another version of what Rav Chisda actually said. So the Ikeda Amre means we have another version. There's those that say that this is what Rav Chisda said. Ikeda Amre, Amar Rav Chisda, Arba me'eder katan. Chamesh me'eder gadol. You could buy 4 from a small flock, rather a small herd, and you can buy 5 from a large herd. Now, how much is a small herd? How much is a large herd?
There's no explanation.
Rashi, there's no Rashi on this keta.
Do we apply the previous summing up where you said the general rule, anything that's sold by the shepherd that will be missing, sense will be missing, and the owner will not sense it's missing?
Yeah, right. That's I mean that's about Yeah, I mean the point though is that either way, Reb Chisda, right? That's what we would do. That's what we would do. In other words, 4 from Eder Katan means it's a small herd, and in that small herd, the balabais would be would detect if there was 4 that was missing. And this that you could buy 5 from a large herd, also the same thing. In other words, a herd which is larger than the small herd, you'd have to buy 5 because otherwise he won't detect. He won't detect. In other words, 4 that were missing because it's a large herd. So, right, that would be the rule based upon the words of the Brisa. But the main point that we see from what both of these versions of Reb Chisda is saying is that what the simple, straightforward understanding of the words of the Brisa was not the simple, straightforward understanding of the Brisa, which caused us to ask the obvious question. If you're telling me that you could buy 4, obviously you could buy 5. So now we're saying no, that's not you can't learn the Brisa in a simple, straightforward way like that, because then you'll have that question. Okay. And now we're going to go to the next statement. Now the Gemora is asking a question over here. Ha gufa kasha. Ha gufa kasha. This is first word in the line over here is katan. And in the middle of that line, it starts with ha gufa kasha. Okay, so Roy, you're the only one that has not read yet this morning in Bava Kama. So you can take the reading for the ha gufa kasha, please.
Okay, thank you. Hakufa Kashya. The Brisa is inherently difficult to understand. Amarat, you say in the first part of the Brisa, Arba v'chomesh tzon, Arba v'chomesh Gizin. One may buy from them 4 or 5 sheep or 4 or 5 fleeces. Abba v'chomesh ein. This implies 4 or 5, yes, we may buy. Aval shalosh lo, but 3 not. Ema Safa. Now consider the latter part of the Sefer. Ema Sefer. Now consider the latter part of the Brisa. Aval lo shetei tzon, but not 2 sheep. Ho shalom zivnanon. This implies that 3 we may buy.
Yeah, we should have asked this kasha ourselves. This is such a simple kasha to ask on the Brisa. The Reisha contradicts the Sefer. The Reisha, if we're going to read the words of the Reisha at face value, it says you could buy either 4 or you could also buy 5. Okay, so we had our question, what does it mean if you're telling me you could buy 4, obviously you could buy 5. We'll leave that question on the side. But whatever it is, you could be medayik that 3 you would not be able to buy. That's what we could infer from the Reisha, that 3 you could buy. I'm sorry. No. 3 you could not buy, because what the Brisa is telling me is what you could yes buy. You could yes buy 4 or 5. Oh, so that implies that you cannot buy 3.
Right.
But if you take a look at the Sefer says you could buy, actually says that you could buy, abalo shtei tzon below shtei gizim, right? But you can't buy 2.
Right.
That's what it says in the Sefer. You can't buy 2. But what happened to 3? According to the Sefer, if all it says is you can't buy 2, okay, so you can't buy 2, and presumably you can't buy 1 either. But 3, it didn't say that you could not buy. So from the Sefer, you see clearly that according to the Sefer, at least, you could buy 3. So the Brisa is totally difficult to reconcile the Reisha to the Sefer.
So the Gemara answers. I'll read it.
Yeah.
La kasha. There's no question. Bavaresa. This latter Bavaresa, which permits buying even 3, refers to healthy sheep. Okay. Bicha Shesa, whereas this first part of the Brisa, which permits buying only 4 or 5, refers to frail ones, frail sheep. So what's that mean? That the first part of the Brisa.
The Bar Yosa, this part of the Brisa is talking about healthy sheep. This part of the Brisa is talking about not so healthy sheep.
So what? So it refers to healthy sheep, whereas
you're asking? Yeah, so ask your question.
So I mean, if you're going to buy them, you know whether they're healthy or not. You might want to buy the unhealthy ones for a cheaper lot and get them healthy.
No, the question over here is not on the what's the buyer going to buy. The question, what's the issue over here? The issue over here is the balabais going to notice that these sheep that are being sold over here in thievery, is he going to notice that, right? So the Reisha says that you may not buy 3 because he's going to notice, and the Sefer says you could buy 3 because the Reisha says you cannot buy 3 because he will not notice, and the Sefer says you could buy 3 because he will notice. So that's the question. What from the Reisha, you're saying he will not notice 3 missing, and therefore you're not allowed to trust the shepherd to buy from him that amount. And the Sefer says yes, he will notice 3. So and therefore you could buy 3 from the shepherd. It's all a question about whether the guy is gonna the owner of the Eder is gonna notice. But then on that the Gemara asked the question. That's inconsistent. That's a stira. So now the Gemara says, oh yes, we're because we're talking about different types of animals in the Reisha and the Sefer. One part of the Bryce is talking about healthy, strong animals, and the other part of the Bryce is talking about the weak, sickly animals. So which one do you think the owner is going to have his eyes on more, and he's going to be more exacting with their disappearance, and therefore it'll be harder, and therefore it'll be easier to buy that amount of animal from the shepherd because you're relying on the balabais is more aware of those types of animals being lost, right? So that's what the Gemara is answering over here. And we go to Lu to flesh out the details of this answer in the Rashi. Rashi, Dibra Maskil, Babar Yosa. The ones that are the healthy, strong ones. Lou, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you got a Rashi to read over here, 2 lines from the bottom. Dibra Maskil, Babar Yosa.
Okay, Debar Yasa. Brios Ayin Bal Habayis Tachas Alehen Umargish Bishlosh. Okay, so let's see, the Balabayas has to look under three things. I'm not sure what Margish is.
Okay, first, let's start with the first word. Brios. Generally, Rashi, if there's a word in Aramaic that the Gemora is using that we might not know what that word it means, Rashi translates the word into Lashon HaKodesh. And that's what he did over here. The first word of the Rashi is briot. He's simply translating the word bibar yosa. What does that word mean? It means that they are healthy animals that we're talking about. So it's just one word there that's translating the one word of the Dibra Maskil that Rashi's focusing his comment on. Then Rashi tells us what's the significance of this, that this animal that we're talking about over here is a healthy animal. So he says, Ayin Balabais, the eye of the Balabais, Tamid Alehen, is constantly on them. And accordingly, Umargish, and he will certainly detect and notice and feel the b'shalosh if 3 are missing. So therefore, in that, that's the case where you may not buy 3. So which part of the brisa was that talking about, that you may not buy 3? That was the Reisha. Let's see, does that make sense? No, that doesn't make any sense. No, I got it wrong. Right? Because the equation works like this. If the Balabais is going to be Margish Shalosh, so then are you allowed to buy 3 from them? From the shepherd? The answer is
Yes.
Yes, right? Good. Right. Whatever the Balabais is going to realize and detect and notice that it's missing, that's the case that you're allowed to buy from the shepherd. That's the rule that we put down in the brisa. So this would be referring to the seifa of the brisa. The seifa of the brisa, it says that you may not buy 2, but you could. The inference is that you could buy 3. And why could you buy 3? Rashi says, because that's talking about that seifa is talking about the healthy animals. So the Balabais is notices their absence much more readily than the unhealthy animals, and so therefore we say even 3, you're not going to be rather you therefore you are going to be able to buy 3 from him. because it goes back to the fact that Balabais is going to notice that 3 are missing because he's looking at those animals, because those are the healthy animals. Those are his good animals. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Mhm.
Okay. All the best, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Have a great day.
You
And
too.
Besuros Toivos and Yeshuos for Klal Yisrael.
See you, Alan. See you, Lou.
Okay, see you.
Everybody
Have a
be
good
good.
day.
Bye bye.